All right, go ahead. Try to tell me that that's not a snake skin under there. Yes, there is more than one reason to seal these cracks up. Having cracks like this that are not sealed between your house, garage, and maybe even a patio can create a really nice home for snakes, rodents, and a lot of bugs. Which for me, I prefer none of those things to be anywhere near my house. Arguably, more important than that is actually stopping water from getting down next to your foundation. In addition to water, since we're in the north here, we deal with ice and snow. When ice and snow get underneath concrete, it heaves. That also results in cracking of concrete. So on several levels, this is incredibly important to seal. When we do any of these projects like this, it's super important to remember that prep is the most important. So let's get the old stuff out of the way, and after that, we gotta make sure it's nice and clean. If you have space underneath this void, you can simply push that stuff down for a little bit of a backer. Of course, you're gonna need a backer anyway, so that stuff down there is not gonna harm anything. So here in this clip, you can see that I clearly got off a lot of that old caulk. And now since we're on the topic of backer, we have a few options we can go over. The traditional backer rod basically looks like a pretty small pool noodle. These come in different sizes, so you can get the size that works best for the size hole you have. And a lot of times this option works really well. But for me, I like to use an expanding foam. And of course, the reason for that is because there's not always a perfect void down there. So this stuff, when it's sealed into this package, is about 1/4 inch wide. So I stuck this stuff down into the void, and it took about 1 hour, but it officially opened all the way up and created a perfect seal. If you don't have a perfect seal on this void, then you can create a little pinhole, and all of that extra caulking is just gonna go down in there, and you're gonna have a little pinhole leak in all of your caulking. The only real important thing about setting that backer is making sure it's below the actual grade in which your caulking is going to set. You can use a screwdriver, you can use your finger or anything, just, anything to get it down in there, get it a little bit below grade, and you can fill it in with this caulking. I picked up this self-leveling sealant from Lowe's. You can pick out a couple different colors. There's even sandy grit you can buy that you can just sprinkle on top to help blend it even more. Here I recruited my 4-year-old son to hold the camera while you watch me put the caulking in. So don't cut a large amount of the tip off the caulking here. So it's a self-leveling, so you kind of just squirt it in there nice and slow. And as you can see behind me, it's actually just already spreading and leveling itself out. This part is super easy, and it's actually quite satisfying to watch. I should also mention that it's important to make sure you watch the weather for this job. You're gonna wanna start off the project with 24 hours of no rain. After just a few hours, the top will get hard, but it will take 24 hours or more for it to fully cure. And then at that point, you'd be good to go. You are fully sealed. With the caulking and the backer, my trip to Lowe's was about $75. And this job only took about an hour to do.